And crime, full time for us to centralize, socialize, and realize. So let the sun shine throughout every day. Let the moon shine through the peaceful night. This is 7 times rise and 7 times fall, but I don't really believe in the falling things at all. Cause life continues as it goes. If you really want to know the truth of the truth isn't being told. No, 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 no. So I said, these are some serious times. All I can see around us is just violence and crime. Full time for us to centralize, socialize, and realize. So let the sun shine throughout every day. Let the moon shine through the peaceful night. This is 7 times rise and 7 times fall, but I don't really believe in the falling things at all. Cause life continues as it goes. If you really want to know the truth of the truth isn't being told. No, 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 no. So sometimes you think it's peace and safety. It could be a for sudden destruction. See the wake up this morning, you better give thanks. You don't know if you're gonna live to see tomorrow. Life is much more precious than gold. Yeah, yeah. And if the truth hasn't been told, so I said, these are some serious times. All I can see around us is just violence.
A pleasant good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Socialize, and realize.
How are we doing this afternoon? It is a warm, lovely evening in Grenada. A little bit overcast, raining in some areas. But we're going to have a wonderful evening by God's grace. It is the 13th day of July 2023. It is approximately 3 minutes past the hour 6. You're joining Royalty James. This is the classroom. Class is in session. To the persons that are already on the live, a pleasant good evening to you. You can start sharing the live right now. To the persons on my YouTube page, I say good afternoon to you.
Socialize and realize to let the sunshine throughout every day.
The song is very much relevant to today's behavioral pattern in Grenada.
This is 7 times rise, and
so we implore that our people
really believe in the
understand that these are some serious times that we're living in.
continues as it goes.
We must protect ourselves, protect each other. This island needs Jesus right now.
Just sometimes you think it's peace and safety. It could be a for sudden destruction. See you wake up this morning, you better give thanks. You don't know if you're gonna live to see tomorrow. Life is much more precious than gold. Yeah, yeah. And if the truth hasn't been told, so I said, these are some serious times. All I can see around us is just violence and crime.
So a pleasant good evening again, ladies and gentlemen.
Socialize and realize.
Let us get ready for this evening's event.
Yeah, yeah.
Evening's conversation.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I believe that I am experiencing some technical difficulties. I don't know if it is me. I don't know what is going on. If persons are getting to view the live, I would like you to just indicate that you're actually on the live. I am not able to see viewers nor comments. For whatever reason, I'm not able to get that on my page. But however, let me just switch on to my other side to see whether or not if it is a problem just with the computer that I'm using, or let's see. Are persons hearing me? You can just indicate by simply commenting in the comment section, because I am not in a position to see whether or not that there are persons on the live or not. To the persons over on my YouTube page, I would like for you to indicate also whether or not that you're hearing me. I am not being able to, I don't know, see who's on the live, whether or not there are persons viewing. I don't know. I really don't know what is happening this afternoon. But if somebody can shoot me a WhatsApp message to tell me whether or not they are being faced with issues. So I don't know, I'm not able to see like refreshed comments, neither I am in a position to see viewers. I don't know, for whatever reason. I want to ensure that persons that are on the program are in a position to comment. I am actually seeing that there is a live feed, but I am not getting any indications from persons whether or not that they're seeing the program. So if anybody can shoot me a WhatsApp message, would be great. You know, I would be able to identify it from my WhatsApp message. Once you can see, I don't know, as I said, for whatever reason, I am not being able to see persons that are viewing, neither am able to see refreshed comments. I don't know if it's an issue with Facebook, but however, I would want somebody to maybe give me a message right now. If you can WhatsApp me. Somebody's telling me the audio is going and come, sometimes silent. So I guess it might be an issue on my end. Maybe it's my computer, because persons are saying that they are getting the live from wherever they're viewing properly, but somehow on my end, I am not able to see. I'm refreshing, but I'm not able to see anything like comments or anything like that. All right, I am not in a position to see whether or not persons are doing live, comments and so on. That is the only issue that I am faced with. However, I think I may have to proceed in that manner. I guess persons, if you have your comments and so on, I would not be able to see it. Going over to my YouTube page, persons are mentioning that they're hearing. Somebody's saying that they're hearing from New York. Yes, I'm hearing loud and clear. Yeah, I can hear you. Having problems on Facebook, right? So persons are having issues on Facebook. So hence the reason why I can recall that I told persons you can go follow me on YouTube, so that when we have issues like that being arised on Facebook, you can just jump over to my YouTube page. All right. So persons, now you can share on Facebook the YouTube link so persons can pick it up on YouTube. All right. And once you get on there, don't be scared to subscribe right now to the page. All right. Feel free to subscribe to the page one time, so in future, if those things arises again, we would be able to rectify such an issue. All right. So I know many of you guys were over listening to Sister Jenny Rapier, right? And she would have been disseminating some, as per usual, relevant information, factual information. You see, the thing about it, as we always say in recent days, we are not here to argue on any personal characteristics, neither try to belittle or defamate anyone. Whenever we come to do those programs, we ensure that we give you information that is of relevance and what is factual. So when you go to Sister Jenny's program and you go to Brother Sheldon's program, Mosquito Man, Brother P.S. program, Brother Caton's program, whatever program that you're listening to, what you would hear is information that is of relevance. And we're not disseminating it because we dislike the organization or the administration that is here. Now, I want to start with a first time that I saw yesterday. Now, I am a toddler. I consider myself a toddler in the political and democratic field. And persons can bear me out on what I'm about to say. But in my tenure of understanding politics and having our state leader leave or return to country, it is my first time in all these years that I've seen the cabinet going out and welcome the Prime Minister after 1 year of governance. I could have understood that happening, maybe his first flight out on government's business as Prime Minister. But after 1 year and some, we are seeing that the cabinet yesterday would have went to the international airport and stood in a queue or in a line, and they welcoming the Prime Minister. It is a first time. I don't know if it's something that used to happen, but I guess it is part of the, how should I put it? How they call it? The transformational agenda. So I guess now that we have that level of transformational agenda, I guess the Prime Minister would have introduced that yesterday. And so we saw the cabinet, going down and welcoming the Prime Minister. For whatever reason it happened, I want to welcome back the Prime Minister on island, and I pray that in days to come we may hear that he would have had a very successful trip. All right, so let us pray that his trip was successful and we may get something tangible from this trip, because the others, it'll just be like a lime. You understand? It'll be a little flex. So we're hoping that on this occasion that he don't come back with the two hand swinging. Somebody tell me yesterday when he dropped from the plane, all he had in his hand was a nut. So I'm guessing that we can rest assured that something came out of it. And we don't go ahead saying that the Prime Minister didn't come back with anything this time. We understand that he was in possession of a nut. I don't know if it's a salt nut, but he came back with a nut in his hand. All right. Now, I often on my program here, you would hear me speak as it relates to protocol. And one of the things I could clearly remember the past administration being very big on is protocol. Knowing who should do what has to be done. The affiliation of persons who are involved with party is simply that. You can support NNP, but when NNP gets into office, it is not your role and function to do as you please because you support NNP. Right? Now, persons need to also understand what is constitutional responsibility, sorry, not constitutional, but constituency responsibility, as opposed to what is ministerial responsibility. Now, there are circumstances where both may coincide, but there are some that are very tentative that you would need to be very precautious when doing it. Where am I going with this, ladies and gentlemen? This, what I'm about to tell you, is first-hand information. It happened today with me being present within the vicinity of the market square. Now, an individual whom I noticed before, the individual was in one of the town hall meetings with the National Democratic Congress. So I know him through that. His position, I don't know whether or not he's attached to any ministry or anything like that. At the time, I was unaware. Now, this individual walked into the market. He was in company of a security that was there, and he was indicating to persons who owns booths who have, excess thing on the outside to have it moved. Now, the individual spoke to one of the persons and said to them, and this was his words in a nutshell, that the information that he has is that the Minister Andy Williams, would have already spoken to persons as it relates to items that are unnecessary items, garbage or so on, will be removed. Now, immediately as he mentioned that, persons that was there mentioned, hey, no, that is untrue. Andy Williams, since taking the ministerial role, has never met with market vendors, persons within the market who owns booths, right? Now, he proceeded to tell the individual that there is a truck that is picking up items. And if the truck returns and he does not remove the items, he would be moving the items whether or not it is important or not. Now, individuals who were there mentioned to him that that would not be so, because at the end of the day, even if the minister would have said to you that he held a meeting with individuals about a month ago and they were given 2 months to move items, now what they were expecting is that maybe about a week, 3 days before those items are to be moved, they were going to be informed that, hey, we are going to move the items in the next 3 days, in the next 7 days. No, that wasn't done. You up at the market this morning and you're mentioning that items have to move. Now, after conversing with some of the vendors who said, no, you can't just move items just like that. There are items that person may believe that is important. And so he proceeded to wherever he went, and then the market manager came around there, and they basically engaged her, letting her know that, look at the situation. This individual came and he said that person has to move the item, and to them, they don't believe that this is the manner in which it should be done. Only to hear from the market manager that the individual is not affiliated with the ministry, but more so is affiliated with the candidate within the constituency. You understand what I'm saying to you? The individual was there not acting in a ministerial capacity, but was there because the candidate for the NDC within the tongue of St. George would have sent him to the market to conduct such. He went on further to mention to the individuals that tomorrow, which is Friday, they will be accompanied by RRU to have persons that are in front of the market on the step be moved. Now, this individual, not acting in the capacity of somebody within a ministry, he is simply acting as a supporter within the constituency. And can you believe that he is doing that within the market square, not having proper communications with the market manager? Now, it behooves me to believe that that level of protocol, that level of procedure was so vague that even persons within the market started laughing. Because an individual come from nowhere, comes into the market with a truck, because they had a truck also, and were moving items helter-skelter. And the market manager was even unaware that this was taking place. So persons are at the market square doing business basically on behalf of the constituency, because he was there in the capacity of the constituency, and asking persons to move their items. You can't be there. Come out from there. You would have to move this. Later on in the evening, here comes the Minister of Legal Affairs. Went around, engaged a few persons, maybe spoke to a few persons. Then she came around in the area where I was. I was there with about 7 persons that owns booths and vendors, and she didn't engage them, merely or barely saying good afternoon to any one of them that was in the area. Now, my reason for bringing this to your attention, people, is to understand that persons are not even understanding the responsibility within this administration. It's like anybody could get a play. Anybody could just wake up and decide, listen to me, I support NDC and I'm going to do this. Now, I find that in itself was rude, because you give somebody the position as a market manager, you as the candidate or the minister could not even pick your phone up and say to the individual who is in charge of the market or the market manager, hey, I would be sending 1 or 2 persons, or persons would come from my constituency today to do X, Y, or Z. Now, to go further within the conversation, he is giving information that is untrue about the minister, that's Brother Andy Williams, meeting with market vendors, which again was untrue. So this individually basically came there like a headless chicken. Information misleading. What to be done was not in his proper process and procedure. And then going further to mention that persons are going to be moved from the step tomorrow with the company of RRU. One of the individuals who were there, a market vendor, had to say to him, but if you're going to move persons tomorrow, which is Friday, as a busy day, why not take the market manager, walk towards the people and say to them, listen to me, tomorrow we are going to have the police accompany us so that you guys can move your items. So tomorrow, what the expectation would have been is that persons who were set up to do their day's work or day's business would have just been approached by members of the Rapid Response Unit, right? Asking them to move from where they're at. So now they would have to take their items up and simply go into the market, whether or not they put it on the ground, whether or not it's on a table, whether or not it's anywhere, the intention is simply to clear the persons on this step. Now tell me, how does an administration function in such manner? How can persons say to me, these are persons that understands what has to happen? You can say to me that these people are even conscious or even in their minds thinking that they're persons who are in need of the upliftment and betterment in terms of their vending. It's like they wake in the morning and listen to me, we're going to do that, and nothing is going to stop us from doing this. Which is very, to me, this is very heartless. Very heartless. Because you can't say to me that you have individuals that are even going to go so far as to come to the market and do what they want. And then in the evening, the dear minister joins the person and they do a nice little walkthrough. They do a nice little walkthrough. They move around the place. People, we need to be conscious. And even if you support a party or you support a side and you can't hold them responsible, it is sad. It is extremely, extremely sad. Now, I want to proceed in terms of, me speaking on the issues of holding these persons responsible. Because, and let me say why I'm going to address this. Sooner or later, it is going to be very grieving for this administration to operate when you have so many persons that would be taking up the responsibility and task to ensure that we point out the different issues that are happening in our country. So we want to hold one of the dear ministers responsible for this statement that he made.
We are committed. We are committed to ensuring the Freedom of Information Act is going to be passed under a National Democratic Congress government so that members of the media themselves, once it's in line with the ambits of the law, will be able to get information like that and not be sued if they speak about it. It's time for the public to know what our public officials are doing on their behalf.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this was Brother Ron Redhead during the campaign trail, mentioning to persons or was speaking as it relates to the persons within the media having the opportunity for that level of freedom of speech and being able to speak freely. Now let me say this to you. With a recent interview held, the person in charge of the media houses is still being faced. They are still being faced with issues surrounding that disclaimer made by Brother Ron Redhead. This administration have not yet to address such issue. They are not even bothered by it when you listen to it. It is not in their interest, ladies and gentlemen. Because at the end of the day, if we can continue to hold them responsible, what do you think that is going to happen? The next election, they're going to come up with another set. And then the other two elections, they come with another set. And it would go on and on and on. Even this year. Even this.
Homes. All right, now this project is, I would say, the brainchild of Prime Minister Mitchell. And it seeks to give access to running water and basic sanitations for all households in Grenada by 2027.
And they clap. And they ball, woo! Not simply understanding that this is a program that have been there for years. And I'm just trickling down on the conversation of holding these persons responsible for things that continues to happen under their watch, knowing fully well that they're not speaking the truth to our Grenadian people. On that simple basis, that, hey, you know for yourself that the information that you are disseminating are untrue. The things that you would have promised, you start turning your mouth on them. I saw one of my wonderful students had to post where an individual called one of the programs, Brother PS program, and said the Prime Minister never said he was going to build 500 homes. They say that the Prime Minister never said that. And I wish that the person is listening to the program now, so we can refresh their memory.
35 years, there has been no systematic attempt, even after the passage of Hurricane Ivan, to address the housing needs of our citizens by any government that has governed Grenada since 1985. So to a large extent, short of receiving housing from China, our government itself has not made any meaningful attempt to even study or identify the housing needs of our people, and then to take measures to address them. And so specific to our young persons, the National Democratic Congress intends to roll out a national housing program, but we want to make it clear that we would, while in office, build at least through private-public partnership 500 houses. Those houses will, through private-public partnership, 500 houses. Those houses will not be apartments. We are going to build houses that creates the traditional, customary Grenadian village. Because we recognize that home ownership is, in most instances, the only means through which a person can get some equity. You can mortgage your home to send your children to study. You can mortgage your home to get money to help take care of medical bills or expenses. Oftentimes, if you don't have a home, you have little or no means, or at least a piece of land, of raising any financing in our current system. And so we want to put our youth in a position.
So this was the gentleman before holding the office of Prime Minister. You hear how nice he sung? You hear how beautiful and eloquent he was put together? That since in 1985, no government has significantly helped in the housing development of this country, in a nutshell. And so he castigated the donated houses from China, and more so our young people, and his government, through private and public entity, would engage. And so 500 houses would be built by his administration. Ladies and gentlemen, and nailed upon yet. And nailed upon yet. If we can hold this administration responsible, don't come and tell me nothing about, oh, Dr. Mitchell did that. Because you all held Dr. Mitchell responsible for this and much more. If the rain fall for 2 days, it was because of Dr. Mitchell Obia in Haiti. If somebody fall in tongue and dead, it was because of Dr. Mitchell Obia in Haiti. If somebody kills somebody, it was because of Dr. Mitchell Obia in Haiti. And there was a saying that every time wrong election, people dying. I wonder what election is going to happen in Grenada. I wonder what election that is coming up. I wonder what is happening in Grenada in recent days. That we have had so many homicides and murder. Conversations of hanging. I wonder what is happening in Grenada. And so, we can't hold this administration responsible. We can't say it publicly. But when it was Dr. Mitchell, it was okay. There was no issues on you mentioning that it's because of the new National Party that was happening. You understand me? Somebody say play the next clip where he denied it. I don't need to play the whole clip, Sister Ferguson. There are even supporters denying it. So that is why I played it. So that they can hear for themselves that it was mentioned. when he was addressed recently by Callistrov, he mentioned that he never said that his government is going to do that. He never said that. He said that is not what he mentioned. And so as the new level of interviewing it happened, they chuckled, hey, I feel they're trying the lawyer thing on me, man. And then they laugh, and then it went away. It went away. Information of the state. You're interviewing him. And he plays it off like, nah, hey, man, me, I never say that. And you're never further to ask question. But you want to know if Dr. Mitchell and his wife divorced. You wanted to know what was the issue with Dr. Mitchell in his personal life. But you can't ask the Prime Minister things that of the state of relevance important. You laugh, hey, I feel you're trying the lawyer thing on me, and then it's gone. So we see the trend that is happening. Even within the media, we're seeing that there is not this level of taunt to ask government questions that are of importance. But you could not have had a good media briefing before without somebody asking some question that is not even surrounding the briefing. When last we see a media house briefing? When last we had a media briefing? A press conference? Somebody maybe could help me. I haven't seen it in recent days and weeks. Holding them responsible. This is not a campaign. We know we have to wait the next 4 years, or as they say, 30 years, to maybe vote them out of office. But as while they're there, we ought to hold them responsible for promises made and things said. And everybody know, oh, well, give them time. The first nail that was removed from the Simon Bridge, the castigation and comments that was made concerning the then parliamentary rep, well, still he's sorry. Sister Louis Peters, look at the bridge today. Look at the bridge today. The bridge is a hike for persons within the community. You have to hold and walk a rail to go across. Facebook posts one after the other from a particular senator for the Bonnet Bridge in St. Mark's prior to the general election as to how wicked Clarice Modeste was or is to not be responsible enough to think about the children that attends the Bonnet government school. Prime Minister Mitchell at the time, when recently leaving in St. Mark's, it was mentioned that both are passing in the area and seeing the bridge. And Facebook post after Facebook post, persons within the parish who supported the NDC, all kind of comments under it. 1 year after, a meeting was held concerning the Bonnet Bridge, and the organization that is responsible commended Sister Clarice Modeste on getting at least 90% or more of the paperwork done for the start of the Bonnet Bridge. Not a nail upon yet. And we can't hold them responsible. We should not hold them responsible. But whenever it takes things that was started by the past administration and you can go and turn a key or cut a ribbon, government is continuum. It is to their own fancy. It is to their own fancy that government is continuum. People, we are old enough to hold these people responsible. We don't need to be disrespectful. You respect the office, but you let them know when you have meetings with them. Boss, didn't you mention that to us? Sir, wasn't that a promise made by your administration? Some of the projects that you hear mentioning, they're telling you by 2027, as you heard mentioned there about the WASH program. So you understand what the intent is? 2027 in the state would be an election year. Think about it yourself. Think about it yourself. Again, and this is today's conversation, if we can't hold them responsible, then something is wrong. The debushing conversation. The conversation of debushing. Let me say to you, and persons can go do their research. Most countries throughout the length and breadth of this world, with governments who believe in their people and their human resource, usually would interject a percentage of finances within the state. Because they know to themselves, even if 45% will come back in taxation. Now, with the introduction of the debushing, think of the amount of monies that was injected into an economy during the debushing period. Think of the $50 million or so that was paid to poor people in Grenada during the debushing program. It was an interjection of finances within the state. Now, how much do you believe that government was getting back from that 50 million? I am not an economist, but I am certain that if it's not at least $10 million that goes back into taxation by poor people spending their monies from the debushing program, getting the little pong of sugar and pong of flour, it is the manner in which government works. You must sometime or the other take into consideration that there are people within your community, within your society, that you must meet halfway. And it may sound rash, but sometimes you give it in the left and you may need to get it back in the right. Because at the end of the day, poor people during the debushing programs, poor people within the debushing programs, when you see they get the little pankwai, if they get it Wednesday, by Friday, it is back into the economy. By groceries, by alcohol, if you want to say. But whatever means, it is again put back into the economy. So you can't say to me that we just had things like children leaving school for graduation. Right? Persons may want to tie up one or two little ends from the spending, and you didn't even send out a debushing program. Nobody could not get a blight, a fortnight to at least, as old people will say, cock a hole. In the back of your mind, that could not have been relevant. But no, you may want to give it now for them to go and play mass. Because why? Job must play. Job must play. This is the consideration. Because at the end of the day, let's take into consideration, you believe that another gang is going to go out by the end of August so that persons could suffice in terms of getting the children's school items to go back to school? According to old people, you don't drag in your foot already to give a look at the bushing. You believe you will give another one now? And there is nothing said about the involvement of poor average people in Grenada who make it by whatever means. If you could make it. But this is Grenada for you. This is Grenada for you. Because why? Dr. Mitchell is no longer there. Dr. Mitchell is no longer there. There is no conversation about Clarice Modest or Miss Emmeline Pierre. There is no conversation about them again. So right now the thing boring. And what triggers our news media now are hanging and violent practices and murder. information would tell you that whenever a state, a country is facing those levels of news and medium, the possibility exists that your economy is not is where it's supposed to be. You're hearing of too many incidents. Too many incidents are happening unquestioned. Persons are not even, like, they're not bothered by it. So many things are happening among us, and at the end of the day, it is laughable to them. Somebody was sharing the conversation from one of the students that spoke to them one-on-one from the recently held program that the New National Party did. And as a student, the conversation was concerning the manner in which the program, the school feeding program is going. Right? And the young person had to tell the individual, the food is nice again. It is not the same. And you see, we may say what that is maybe just one individual, but we're hearing little talks here and there, people, that there is dissatisfaction in a lot of the schools as it relates to what was donated before as opposed to what is being given now. Government is not prioritizing people. And this is my most serious concern within the state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Peter Martinique. Government is not, and I'm saying this openly, not prioritizing as to what is important. As I mentioned in my program on Tuesday, we know definitely that the Republic Bank issue is an internal issue. But it's an issue that is being faced by Grenadians. This is not foreigners striking. This is an issue being faced by somebody's brother, their aunt, their uncle, a mother, a father. These are issues faced by our people. You as a government don't need to involve and demand a payment, because it could be that the proper negotiation didn't take place. But knowing the modus operandi of your administration, just pay the doc salary. That is what you would do. So we expect you to get involved. Somebody asked me today if they believe that the New National Party should get involved in a conversation like this. I think that the members within the New National Party knows to themselves what is their responsibility as it relates to issues that is concerning state as opposed to what engages a private entity. Now, if it was NMP that didn't pour him, and about two candidates jumping up with the Republic Bank, if it was that, about two candidates jumping up with persons in front of Republic Bank, because to them, it is simply a political front. But I believe there are members within the New National Party that is way more intelligent. So you wouldn't find them jumping on the bandwagon just for the purpose of making the government look bad. But at this stage, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that, well, the Minister of Labor at least, maybe a conversation with management of the Republic Bank, understanding, and as I said again on my program, you have to take into consideration there are persons within the public service that are with the Republic Bank, and they're supposed to be getting paid either tomorrow or by Monday. What if, because of the strike, those persons are unable to get their salaries? Now, how can you not be conscientious about things of that nature? How can you not in the back of your mind say, I wonder if we should or should we approach this issue. But now, gentleman, was an incident happened on the beach concerning Coast Guard, and an individual lost their life. And the minister now was seen in front of the botanical gardens accompanying persons during the protests. Private issue. And he was there, part and parcel. But now it is your government. You sitting at the chair. And with the clip I played just a few weeks ago, a few days ago for you guys, he mentioning that persons need to hold government responsible. You need to hold persons responsible for what they do and what they say. And today, many of them sit in that chair and they're not moving. Where is the Minister of Housing? Who is responsible for housing in Grenada? Who's responsible for agriculture? Where is the tourism minister? Education? So many ministries, and you're not hearing anything. The Ministry of Health. Where are those ministries? Who are responsible for those different ministries? When you look at your television, all you see, ladies and gentlemen, is our dear Prime Minister. They line up on the airport waiting for him. Line up. The cabinet take the time off to welcome back in the Prime Minister of the state. Now I can say this is up to them to feel free to do whatever they wish. This is their party. This is their transformational agenda. But if we put the same energy into dealing with issues of the state that you promise our people, then you could go and meet him on the plane outside on a boat. It wouldn't concern us because you're dealing with matters of the state. But that is not being done. All you're simply getting from those persons are a hush-hush. This administration just hushing about every single thing. All right? We were listening to Sister Jenny's program. For those of you all who took in Sister Jenny's program, the conversation continues. Too much NNPs involved in too many entities, be it private or public entities or public sectors within the state of Grenada. But I always mention to them this: when the new national party is in office and persons are given roles and function within this government of the new national party, they take their time off and they educate themselves. They get certification. They uplift themselves. They understand what their responsibilities are. So if it means that the new national party leaves office, they are those who are going to remain there, educated and certified enough, with enough merit that you can't get rid of. So the conversation of, there is NNP all about, you can't move them. Because they're educated enough and eloquent enough to hold the positions that they hold. All right? So you're not going to stop hearing it. Maybe they mention there is too much in the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education. You hear now that there is too much within the Spice Mass Corporation. You were hearing the last time that there were too many persons involved in the incidents that were happening at the Independence Day parade. Right? You will not stop hearing them. Because I want to tell you guys this. The persons in whom the past administration left there are persons that are qualified and experienced enough to hold the position that they're in. So you can't move them and you can't shake them. You understand me, ladies and gentlemen? All right? So I want to always make it a habit in recent days to always recognize one of our wonderful members. And today I want to take the time off and say a hats off, good evening, to our dear parliamentary rep, that is Miss Emmeline Pear. So I want to extend a heartfelt good afternoon to Mrs. Emmeline Pear, and I pray that everything is all right with you and your family. And we appreciate you as the time and the stint that you gave to our state, and we want to say all the best as you continue to do your good works. We want to commend you on the wonderful gesticulation that you and the party would have taken up in the past 2 seminars that was held. We do understand that it was a success. We do understand that even the Minister of Implementation would have commented that he would like to be part and parcel or make whatever contribution towards the continued development. All right? But however, we always say to these people, it is not sad or bad to you for you to assist. But however, we're not going to be plead in the manner that you all usually want us to be plead. All right? So I want to say now at this time that this brings the end of the program this evening. I was a little bit cool today. Don't you realize I was a little bit low, right? I started off, I don't know, I'm not getting the comments on Facebook. I tried refreshing so many times. But however, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud today to say that the first person or the first company would have engaged my program, and so they would like to be part and parcel of my program. This is G Burger. They're located on Wall Street in Grandance, and so they would have given the okay that they would be part and parcel and making contributions to the program. We disseminate information as it relates to their burgers, and today we are featuring one of their burgers that is the regular beef burger. It is a quarter-pound burger served with onions, lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and dill pickle and dressing. All right, this is only $13, and I want to today, with their approval, they said to me this is going to give anybody on the program that burger. So they're located in on Wall Street, and you can check them out. You can go there, get your burger. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give the opportunity to Miss Marilyn Ferguson to take this opportunity. Your name would be given to the business place, and you can go there and you would earn yourself a free burger. Just simply mention that you were given and you were part of the classroom on Thursday, and you will be able to get a free burger. The information would be sent as it relates to your contact number or whoever, and you would be able to collect a free burger. However, the burger that I mentioned doesn't mean that's a burger you may want. When you go there, whatever burger you see and you're pleased with it, you would be able to get that burger. All right? So I want to say to my wonderful student, Ms. Marilyn Ferguson, you just earned yourself one burger, compliments G Burgers, that is located on Wall Street in St. George's. All right? Just to end this evening program, I want to invite persons to Staggering, a day cruise that would be held on Thursday, the 10th of August, aboard the Rum Runner. So be a part of this, Rum Runner 2. So if you wish to be a part of this, it costs you only $100. That will be Carnival Thursday. So if you wish to be a part of this, go out and enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Island Revelers. I think this is one of the events that I would have gone already. That is another event that would have gone already. Shantimel Soca Monarch would be held on the 21st of July, Saturday the 21st of July. This would be held at the Shantimel RC School grounds. So you can get yourself on the inside. $25 gets you on the inside. Early bird ticket, $30. Get out there to the program. Be there. The winner would get $10,000. Wow. For just a little community soca monarch, I will sing a thing. But however, I would be the host of the night along with Pinky Fabulous. So don't be afraid to be a part of. On the behalf of Share Promotion, the warm-up night cruise about the embassy. She want to say thank you very much to all the patrons that came out and was a part of. All right. So from Marissa, I want to say it was a wonderful one. I had some mad fun last night. Also, on the 7th of August, you can go on a day cruise, Rum Runner 2, Hard Fet. That is the Ladig Sports Organization. They're having a day cruise, and it would be only $70 that can get you on the inside. The new National Party, St. Patrick's West, they present Sassy and Sexy. That is Friday, July 28th. You can get your ticket at the office. It is only $65, so be there. Pinky and Donna, Queen's Promotion, they present Dinem and Diamond. That on July 22nd, that's next Saturday at Crampy's Entertainment Center. That's in Subies, so be a part of this one. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was another pleasure being here with you guys, being able to chat with you guys, being able to talk to you guys. I know I'm supposed to, hold on, I just want to ensure that I end this evening. Right. So I know that we would have planned that we would have make up for tomorrow's program, for yesterday's program tomorrow. However, the team would have mentioned that we try not to do programs on Fridays. All right. So we're trying not to do programs on Fridays. So that would have to be a no-no. All right. If you realize that myself and Brother Sheldon, we don't do programs on Fridays. So I was trying to see whether or not it could happen tomorrow. But however, the team, the management team would have said to me, nah, let's leave it for next week as per usual. So see you guys next week. We would be on the program. As I said today, I was a little bit cold. I don't know for what reason. I don't know if it's because it started in the manner, because normally I like to, when I'm speaking, I read comments and I get vibe. So I guess maybe because I didn't have that vibe today, I sung a little bit down. But however, ladies and gentlemen, there are days like this, right? I pray that I would have given some information to somebody who it was relevant. I want to say thank you for always being a part of my program. I love you guys. And this is Royalty James signing out for another evening, saying thank you for being here and God's blessings to you. All right.
A word from the wise, don't try to make life on your own. Remember that Jah just by your side. For I was a soul who was lost, and my life was in dismay. For among evil forces in which I played, guns and ammunition were my chosen way of life. With God-fearing people I chose to strive. For all of the lives that are taken, they can never be replaced. But still Jaja chose to remember my face. Though I never lived like he wanted, I'm still mindful of what he taught me. So now I beg and plead, I'm on my bending knees. God, Father, you rescued me. I've got the scars to show. I daily made it along life's road. Cause when my life got dark, he was the only spark. He was the light at the end of the road. When I was a young boy, growing up in Augustown, we ate from the same pot. We were irons all around. From Gola to Colorado Corner, from Rockers to Jungle 12 Tire, Bryce Hill to Dread Heights and River, all around. Yeah. And then the football ground became a battlefield, and my life seemed so surreal. People were falling all around, Jah help me to stand my ground. Only Jah could have helped me to stand my ground. Though I never lived like He wanted, I was mindful of what He taught me. So now I beg and plead, I'm on my bending knees, 'cause Father, you rescued me, and I've got the scars to show. I barely made it along life's road, 'cause when my life got dark, He was the only spark, the light at the end of the road. Oh, never lived to please Him, I never lived like I should. Oh, Father, you rescued me. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I've lived and I've learned. I've made mistakes along the way. Now I beg for forgiveness each day as I try to pray. So take it from me, son, you can change the world today. And I'm living proof that crime doesn't pay. For I never lived like He wanted, I was mindful of what He taught me. So now I beg and plead, I'm on my bending knees, 'cause Father, He rescued me, and I've got the scars to show. I barely made it along life's road, 'cause when my life got dark, He was the only spark, the light at the end of the road. I never lived like He wanted, I was mindful of what He taught me. So now I beg and plead, I'm on my bending knees, 'cause Father, you rescued me, and I've got the scars to show. I barely made it along life's road, 'cause when my life got dark, He was the only spark, the light at the end of the road. Though I never lived like He wanted, I was mindful of what He taught me. I'm on my bending knees, I ask the Father, please. Father, you rescued me, and I've got the scars to show. I barely made it along life's road. As my life got dark, He was the only spark, the light at the